Takes up its spot. They're ready to go. The first on Blue Spec Day. No red light. Often racing regardless. Country God actually was the first to hit the ground. Also Bundabergen from the inside. Cape Lewin going through. So Parnham's the first to take hold. Grabbed the favourite Country God. Parked it behind it. Stylant went forward to be running third at the end of 250. Pony Up got back into the field. Joined now by Beyond the Limits down near the rail. And further back behind them is Angel's Point, My AUTHORITAH. The tail end of Sometime Lucky. Cape Lewin was able to wrest the lead here as they go up to the top of the course at the 850. Cape Lewin from the stablemate Bundaberg, a length and a half away behind them. Stylant, a similar margin then to the favourite Country God, look to be cruising. Over on the inside is Beyond the Limits, travelling up there fifth inside of Pony Up. My AUTHORITAH, Angel's Point, and back there last is Sometime Lucky, 7 lengths from the leaders. 500 left to go here in the first at Belmont Park. Cape Lewin will bring them for home. Cape Lewin by a length. Bundaberg, Country God made its move, goes up 3 and 4 wide. Pony Up comes into it as well around the outside with its run. Back on the rail, Stylant, and then Sometime Lucky coming from the back of the field with My AUTHORITAH. At the 200, Country God loomed up, grabbed Cape Lewin. Over on the inside, Stylant. Wider out is Sometime Lucky, and still there is My AUTHORITAH. Country God, My AUTHORITAH. They're going to split it together. My AUTHORITAH. My AUTHORITAH has won it by a breath over Country God. A great finish. Cape Lewin and wider out Sometime Lucky. They figured for third. Pony Up right on their heels ahead of Stylant. In behind them next of all when they'd pulled up is Beyond the Limits, back there in company with Bundaberg, and the tail ender is Angel's Point. Number 4, My AUTHORITAH. On the outside of Country God, picking up the favourite. Sometime Lucky, Cape Lewin, a battle for third. That'll probably go the way of Sometime Lucky. But My AUTHORITAH from a maiden here into this 3-year-old Saturday set weights event has claimed victory and made it 2 wins from 4 starts for trainer Dan Morton, ridden by Willie Pike. Makes a big transition and takes a good scalp at the same time. Beating Country God, suffering its first defeat in 3 runs. Sometime Lucky wider out, just probably getting third in front of Cape Lewin as we wait for the full list of the details to come through. So the 2 playing God 3-year-olds have gone head-to-head here in race 1. My AUTHORITAH out of Cathay Bill, ridden by W. Pike, beating Country God by playing God from City Circle, Chris Parnham. And we wait for third to come through here after the opening event. Still no minor placing. Here it comes now in actual fact, and 5 gets that. Sometime Lucky in front of Cape Lewin. 4-2-5-1. 4-2-5-1. It's a long head, the official margins, and 1:25.61 the time. They've run home in 36.16. So Willie gets on the board nice and early on this playing God 3-year-old who wins his second race for Carol Morton, Ross Waddell, Bill Bierman, Gary Dickey, A. Dernan, Stan Quinlivan, Freddie Fairthorne, the Get the Round In group, along with N. Dewan, Sean Morton, R. Pettigrove, PGCB Racing, and also Benny Randall, W. Smith, J. Stewart, Mrs. Nat Bortolotti, G. Hoole, Mrs. G. Powell, P. Howell, and Pete Scott. My AUTHORITAH takes out race 1 on the card. Country God second by Playing God, and Sometime Lucky by Toronado third home. Race number 2 is the running of the Blue Spec Stakes over 1600. Only the 7 to run in the next at 1:49. So the fave goes down in the first for the day, but sets up a nice spring here. My AUTHORITAH is a very, very talented type himself as we go down and catch up with Tess, who joins us in the yard.
Thanks, Darren. Yes, catching up now with Luke Morton, Dan's son. Luke, fantastic performance there. You've got a big group of owners around us. It's a bit hard to get amongst them here, but a really good result.
Yeah, really good result. Beautiful day out here today, and lots of owners here to enjoy it. So yeah, it's great.
What were the expectations going into today? Obviously won last start, broke maiden status over the 12. Did you think the 14 was ever going to be an issue?
No, I don't think so. this type of build he is, he really sort of looks like that type. So, and he was like, his first up run was awesome last start, but he was always going to take plenty out of it. So we were pretty confident coming in today.
I hope you had something on at the 950.
No, I'm not that smart.
Now we look as well, I guess, like you said, over the 1400 metres. Do you look to give him another run? Because I think there's a nice spring horse you've got here.
I'm not really sure. We'll have to go back to the drawing board, talk to BJ and Dad. So we'll see what happens there.
Congratulations. You've got Objectify as well in later on today. Any pushes there for her?
No pressure today. We'll just see how she goes. She's probably coming to the end of her prep, so we'll see what happens.
Thank you. Congratulations. Enjoy with all these happy owners.
Thank you.
There's Luke Morton, and we're beginning a word with Willie Pike after he chats to all those winning owners out there. Scotty, it was a very impressive win there. Still looked a little bit green as well on straightening, so I think plenty to take from this win for sure.
Certainly was, Tessa, and as we mentioned in the preview, he didn't win by big margin last start, but he probably didn't have the right run into it, whereas today, Willie, he was settling nicely for you at the back of the field and then showed a beautiful last 600.
Yeah, he did. All of those things. He settled well. What I liked about him, he just kept finding the line. I rode him really hard for a long way, and I was kind of thought he might peak on his effort, but he didn't. He went right through the line, and there was some stiff opposition to try and run down, and he managed to do it.
That's what we were saying, 6 last start winners in that one event, so it should hold up as a nice form reference, you think?
I think so, and I think he does still have upside because, as I said to the guys, in a really good way. He's a bit dumb still. He's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know where he's coming from. I might have the same issue.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
There's William Pike combining with Dan Morton and My AUTHORITAH to take out the first here, the Lawn Pride Australia plate over the 1400 metres. Numbers here in the opener, 4, 2, 5 and 1. We'll be taking a short break before heading back up to beautiful Broome for the second.